with more details regarding Toni Storm leaving WWE and AEW's potential plans for Kenny Omega. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report for December 30th. This year, AEW has signed 30 new stars to their roster, including many big names. Talking about his roster with TV Insider, AEW President Tony Khan admitted he needs to be more discerning when signing talent. Yes, we will continue expanding the roster. Absolutely, there will be more people coming into AEW. I do think I have to be more discerning than ever in talent acquisition, because we have such a strong roster. I was aggressively expanding with the launch of Rampage. We made some big signings in the past, including CM Punk, Bryan Danielson, Adam Cole, Ruby Soho, Thunder Rosa, Kyle O'Reilly, Bobby Fish, Andrade, Malachi Black, Christian Cage, and many others. We've also continued our partnerships with great international companies like New Japan Pro Wrestling and Lucha Libre AAA. We have a lot of great talent working, but it's time for me to be more discerning than ever in terms of acquisitions. The global leaders in below-the-waist grooming are leaving 2021 with a new product. Clean yourself into the new year with their ultra premium body wash. Also, special offer alert. Use the code WrestlingUp20 for 20% off plus free shipping at manscaped.com. 4 million men already trust Manscaped. Time to join them. Manscaped is making a splash and upping your grooming game. Their signature Lawnmower 4.0 is here to take down every pube in its path. Manscaped engineered the ultimate groin and body trimmer by focusing on intelligent functionality and an incredibly comfortable grooming experience. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents. Thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology, it's even waterproof. You know what else you should be confident about? Smelling like $1,000,000. You may be asking how, and I'm happy you did. Use the Manscaped Refined Cologne with the same signature scent that's in all Manscaped formulas, a great complement to your collection. Get 20% off and free shipping with the code WrestlingUp20 at manscaped.com. That's 20% off with free shipping at manscaped.com and use code WrestlingUp20. In September, NXT 2.0 made its first appearance as many fans and critics feel this brand no longer resembles the show it once was. Speaking about this on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray noted that he has no interest in watching. Here's my thought walking away from the show. I don't want to watch the JV squad anymore. I don't want to watch the AAA of the WWE anymore. I understand why it's important. I understand why it's on. I get it. From a business point of view, I understand every last detail of what they are trying to accomplish on Tuesday nights at 8 o'clock on USA. As a fan who's been around the wrestling business obviously 40 plus years, I'm not as much into the up and coming developmental talent right now. To me, these new characters, these new talents are doing well, but I want to be entertained at the highest level. That's why I'm watching a Raw, a SmackDown, a Dynamite. Those are the top of the food chain when it comes to the different brands we have at our disposal to be entertained by. Last night I felt very much like I was watching the minor leagues because NXT is the minor leagues now. Me calling NXT the minor leagues, I'm not being disrespectful. It's not a detriment. It just is what it is. Despite Seth Rollins announcing that he is COVID positive, Dave Meltzer reported on Wrestling Observer Radio that WWE is going with the assumption that Rollins and other stars pulled from the recent holiday tour will be at the Day 1 pay-per-view. They're going with the assumption that Seth is going to be there. They're still advertising him. They're going with the assumption that Becky Lynch is going to be there. They're going with the assumption Bianca Belair will be there. Lashley, Zelina, people who aren't on TV or at any of the house shows. Nakamura and Woods are the ones who were all absent from the shows, but they were advertised, so something's up with them. Liv Morgan, we don't know. Kofi Kingston and Eric were on the first nights of the tour, but they were not on last night's show. I don't know what the situation is with them. Eric of the Viking Raiders. And then last night, there's a whole bunch of them on NXT. Dexter Lumis, Gigi Dolan, JC Jane, and Brian Kendrick. There's probably others I'm forgetting. The theory is that they will be back for New Year's Evil on Day 1. It's like the early days. It's very much we don't know. Everything is subject to change. Meltzer would further note that WWE pulled talent from their recent holiday tour to ensure those stars could make it to the Day 1 pay-per-view. The deal is that the people who were gone from the Sunday house shows, in theory they were hoping they would all be back for Day 1. They're not testing anymore, but if someone gets sick, they're not going to come. So if somebody gets sick, you know they won't be on the show. But I don't know, basically what I was told Sunday night is there are people being held off this week's touring, who are the main eventers, because they want to use them eventually on the pay-per-view, since they want Lesnar, Heyman, Roman Reigns for example at Day 1. They're doing the Mania storyline and they gotta be there, if at all possible, so Reigns was pulled from every house show to lessen his shot at getting sick. And of course, Lesnar wasn't going to be at the house shows, and Heyman wasn't going to be there either, so that's okay. While Goldberg vs. The Undertaker was seen as a dream match for many, it failed to live up to expectations at the Super Showdown event in 2019. It could have turned into a fatal incident for both stars involved, as Goldberg was on the Pat McAfee show mentioning that he did not think he could finish that bout. Yeah, 100% Undertaker and Saudi. I've been out for a while and everybody's got a routine, and I kind of forgot my routine, but I remembered the headbutt, so on the way out I headbutt the door, and I don't know where I am after that. I've got no idea what's going on. I'm kind of getting to the ring, and then we've got the spot where he moves and I hit the turnbuckle. Well, I didn't go out and look at the turnbuckle beforehand, and it was a different setup from what we would normally have at Raw or SmackDown. I took that one. I tried to take things as realistic as possible and I took it wrong. So let's just say I got another concussion right there and opened myself up pretty good. It's the referee and the booker's responsibility to call what's going on in there. You know, they're on the mic and the headset and everything. The referee, I remember he came up to me 10-15 times during that match. How are you doing? I'm like, I'm good. And by the time he'd walk away, I'd go, I don't know what's going on. It was a different answer every time, and the fact is, I never should have done what I did. But I did. Try to go through with it, but unfortunately, it turned out to be a debacle. It's a wonder that we both didn't get smashed during that match. It was a very bad missed opportunity. But hey, at the end of the day, I was just trying to provide a better show for everybody else. Now, Goldberg has one more match left on his WWE contract, so we'll have to see who he faces down the line. WWE has created a pipeline for college athletes to make the transition to pro wrestling with their next in line program. On his podcast, Kurt Angle revealed why this is a great concept for bringing in new talent. I think the NIL program is very effective because you're getting college athletes, and a lot of these athletes are going to be world-class athletes. Those are the kind of athletes you want in professional wrestling. You can be a non-athlete and join a territory and work your way up and still be a great worker. I think it's a great program, and I think you need a little bit of both. You want the old school where you have the territories and the small promotions where you can work on your character, and work on your development in the ring. I think you need a little bit of both of those. After Kyle O'Reilly made his debut for AEW interfering in Adam Cole's match against Orange Cassidy, Cole was seen walking to the back with his old Undisputed Era stablemates as the Young Bucks looked on. Dave Meltzer noted on Wrestling Observer Radio that this could lead to a big match once Kenny Omega returns. So they're teasing that it could be Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly against the Young Bucks and Adam Cole, maybe having to pick a side. I mean, the logical one is for him to pick Fish and O'Reilly, and whenever Kenny Omega comes back, whenever that is, that's the big feud which should be a kind of incredible feud. Following the loss of his AEW title, Omega is taking time away from programming to focus on recovering from injuries and getting these surgeries he needs. Hit Row was seen as a stable with a ton of potential when they were called up to the main roster this year. First, B-Fab would be released from the company, with the remaining members of the group let go as well. During KNS WrestleFest, B-Fab touched on a release admitting that the lack of security in WWE contracts is scary. It's a sad situation because I don't even know if you can call it a contract, because most contracts have to be worked through until they are finished. With them being able to terminate whenever, it's more like an agreement than a contract. If you want to live your life, you can't put your life life on hold for this agreement, because they can change it whenever they want. It's kind of hard to plan what you want to do when you don't know what's going to happen day to day. It's not very secure and it's a scary situation to put yourself in. It's very difficult to say if it's even worth it. Now people are moving from across the country to do this job, and you can get cut in 6 months and you move your entire life and family over there. While B-Fab had a 30-day non-compete clause, the rest of Hit Row must wait 90 days following their release to sign with another promotion. With WWE reportedly releasing Toni Storm, this came as a shock to fans. Storm had just recently been in a championship feud and match with Charlotte Flair on SmackDown, as Bodyslam.net noted that Storm did not request a release. Turns out Toni didn't exactly request a release. She just up and quit, worked a triple threat at a house show last night, and then paid out of her own pocket to fly herself home. WWE handling it as her asking for her release and then them granting it, because after so many talents were released due to budget cuts this year, it's like, meh, it's wild. She's just gone. Didn't really tell anyone. Dave Meltzer would note that he heard Storm had left due to being burnt out, adding that there has been no update on if she has a non-compete clause. With him set to challenge for the ROH World title at Impact Wrestling's Hard to Kill event, Chris Sabin recently spoke to GOW Media 216 about the Forbidden Door with AEW. Ultimately, with the Forbidden Door, it's about the talent. It's giving people more work. It's providing matches for the fans that they wouldn't be able to see otherwise. It's great to see people succeed, especially when they're good people like Kenny Omega. Seeing him win all those belts and go on that epic, amazing run was really cool. I think that probably played a big role in opening the door for more companies to work with Impact Wrestling. Hopefully it continues long into the future because I really love the Forbidden Door stuff. Sabin would then say this about a potential dream match with an AEW tag team, as he noted, I think it would be pretty cool to do one more match of Motor City Machine Guns versus the Young Bucks, one more time. While she was a mainstay on NXT, Ember Moon would end up let go from WWE last month as she awaits her 90-day non-compete clause to run out. Taking to Twitter, Moon would tease a return which led to her trending as she wrote, "Thank you for all the love and support. I have always heard and appreciated you. Soon, I will be free and make art out of war again." Moon was last seen wrestling Mandy Rose on October 5th for NXT, as we hope to see her in action in the future. And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.